Hi, beautiful people, and happy Sunday, and welcome to my life. Today, we're going to talk about how to cultivate inner peace and self acceptance in the matrix in life. Okay, remember that yesterday we spoke about the matrix and we spoke about the different qualities of the system of this life that we're living in. Okay, the matrix is just meaning the system within the system. Okay, the systems within the specific system that we call the matrix. Okay, and we are the players, we are the actors on the stage. Okay, so we are not victims, we are contributing to the system as it plays out. Okay, as sovereign beings, but then we forget that our sovereignty, okay, because of the veil of forgetfulness. But now we have the opportunity to take charge, okay? So cultivating your peace and your happiness and self-acceptance is very important to the game of life in the matrix, okay? Very important. Remember yesterday we spoke about the two energies, the two frequencies, the two major frequencies here in this reality in the matrix, okay? It's either the high frequency, which is linked to oneness and love, compassion, all the good things, right? Peace, self-awareness, compassion, I mentioned that, right? Authentic truth, and also service to all and service to yourself. Because when you serve others, you're also serving yourself because they are a reflection of who you are. Every single person in your reality is a reflection of who you are in some form or the other. They carry a frequency which is aligning you to them. So there's an alignment, right? Because there is only oneness in this reality, okay? So for you to be able to follow the high frequency, you need to have self-acceptance, right? And have self-awareness and inner peace. That's all high frequency, right? So if you're choosing that path of having inner peace and self-acceptance, then let's speak more about self-acceptance, what it really means in the matrix, okay? Now, in a world full of noise and distraction and illusion, right? Where you made to feel not enough, where you made to feel that you're not good enough, that you are not worthy of having that happiness and that success. Because in this matrix, happiness is taught to be something outside of you, that you need to have a certain thing, you need to have a certain amount of money, you need to live in a certain area in the world, you need to drive a certain car. All the things that related to happiness per se in the matrix is all external things, external validation. Okay, so in the world full of all this noise and confusion, all right, and the pressure as well, the pressure to be like others, to conform, right, to what everybody else is doing, right? It causes a confusion in your mind, okay? We call this the matrix. The matrix can be very confusing because you're still trying to understand who you are. Because, however, you've been influenced by outside influences, which is causing the confusion. And you're now comparing yourself because in this game of life, there's a lot of comparison, right? Because you're told that you're not enough, okay? Look at the social media, look at the mass media, everything out there is about what is beautiful. Even show the most beautiful person in the world. They have those type of points of view. They telling you from the outside of you what is beautiful. So when you look at yourself and you start judging yourself because it's you're not feeling enough. You compare yourself to what you see outside on in social media or mass media, right? So, awaken to your awareness is important. The first step is to find your peace, right? To see the matrix for what it is, a system built on distraction, built on comparison and fear, right? Fear is an illusion because it's something that is not real, okay? Because you are not fearful. You were not born fearful. However, life's condition fear into your program, right? A system built on distraction and comparison and fear. Become an observer in the system where it's about comparison and about fear and illusion. You need to become an observer instead of you partaking in the matrix or trying to beat the matrix, because the matrix is a reflection of who you are. Remember that every single person is experiencing life according to their own awareness, right? my little life experience is my experience of the matrix. Okay, however, I am creating or have created this reality, this matrix experience that I am personally experiencing through my own belief systems, through my own filters. It's not happening to me, it's happening through me and by me, and we all having the same type of experience. That's the reason why that there's no two people having the same type of experience in life. There's no two people that are experiencing the same, exactly same things, even if those people are born in the same home and live in the same uh, house and have the same, I mean, maybe having the same job and everything's the same. No, but because they are different and their points of views and worldviews are different, they're experiencing the matrix, that's life in itself, differently. Okay, so for you to find peace, you need to realize where you are and who you are. You need to claim your peace. It's not just going to be given to you. You need to claim your peace. In other words, you claim your autonomy, you claim your sovereignty, you claim your energy, you understand who you are. You are, you can spend about a few minutes each day for you to settle in within yourself in the mornings, because you are in control of your life. For you to feel in control, you need to have a control practice of yourself, an intentional practice, preferably in the mornings, because you start your day in the morning, right? Because remember, we have 24 hours each day to experience life, to create life, okay? So you have a choice to actually see life as a victim, or you see life as somebody who's partaking and creating and unfolding as you're making decisions, as you change your worldview, your belief systems, as you switch and change, then you experience different things. That's what those people are talking about when I say manifesting your best life ever. And they speak about how my life changed. Like when I changed a certain thing in my life, though, how I saw myself and how I saw money, how I saw wealth in abundance, right? And I started practicing certain things in my life. They're trying to tell you they change their worldview, their assumption about themselves and life. Basically, that's what it's all about. You changing your focus of who you think you are. And you focus and you start practicing on things that are more uplifting, things that are going to add value to your life, not to the matrix system, but to you per se. So you are the most important person or the most important entity in the game of life. Okay, you are creating your life experience. The people around you are just like, I would say, like guest actors to your life experience. You are the main character. They are just there to add to your experience, and they're there because they align to you. Right now, that's taking ownership. Then detachment from external validation, very important in the matrix. The matrix are, thrives on making you feel not enough. It thrives on you making you feel not fulfilled, not enough. You don't feel enough. Okay. The moment you try, you begin to focusing and remember and seek and stop seeking validation from outside, then you begin to take control of your life. You begin to remember your wholeness. As soon as you start taking ownership of yourself and stop wanting approval, external approval from outside, right? You will then begin to remember who you are and take control and then achieve your wholeness or realize your wholeness, because you are whole. You always have been whole. You were born whole. And because of life's conditioning, that kind of broke you down, okay? So you can affirm to yourself each morning when you're doing your morning intentional practice, setting your intentions for the day. I am enough as I am. I do not need approval from the whole world and anybody else, because I am whole enough. I am enough. Right? And you anchor yourself into the present moment. So this is your practice each moment. Remember that most of us are not living in the moment because we're still worried about tomorrow, what's going to happen today at the office, or what's going to happen next week or in this coming week. We're not focusing on the now. However, when you want to master the matrix, you need to learn how to focus on the now. Anchor yourself in presence, in your now moments. Peace is never in the future. Peace is now. People have this ability or tendency to actually put things off, their happiness off, their joy and their peace off, right? They're always thinking about, okay, not only if I achieve this, maybe I need to become this or do this for me to have happiness and peace. You don't have to put your happiness off, because there's only the now moment. Time is just an illusion. Okay, the now, the future, and the past is all happening at the same time. So if you keep on putting things off, your own happiness and your own peace, you're actually putting your life off. You're putting your life experience, your abundance off, your wellness off. You are now procrastinating on your own life experience. You're saying that you're not enough. You need to have a certain job. You need to have a certain type of body because you've been comparing yourself with other people. You've been told that being a certain type of shape or have a certain type of weight is not good. It's not sexy. It's not attractive. You cannot be successful in life, right? So when you learn how to beat the matrix, you integrate yourself within it, right? You learn to take ownership of yourself and accept yourself as you are now. You are beautiful, beautifully created in the image of divine source. Thank you for liking my live. Thank you. Hi, Lungi. Is Lungi Swa. How are you? Hope you're keeping well. The Ocean Girl, welcome to my live. We are talking about today cultivating your inner peace and self-acceptance in a matrix system in life, right? How to cultivate your peace in all this chaos that's going on in the world, all these comparisons, all these low frequencies. How do you cultivate your peace? We have to take ownership, detach from external validation. Stop seeking validation from outside of you and approval from outside of you. You have to affirm each morning. You have to have a practice that's grounding. You need to set your stage for your day each day. You set your intentions, okay? So it means that in the morning, before you even leave your home for work, for school, for college, for anything like that, you need to start your day with grounding, a grounding meditation, grounding affirmations, and tell yourself that I am enough. I am good enough. I'm able to have a wonderful day. My life is awesome. I'm beginning to appreciate my life more. If you're working on yourself, you have to start from where you are. If you don't really truly believe or feel that you are worthy, you could say things like, I'm choosing to feel worthy today. I'm choosing to focus on being worthy today. I'm choosing to focus to accept myself for who I am. Remember, affirmations can only work effectively to rewind your consciousness or seed a positive thoughts and beliefs about yourself if they are comfortable. They have to be comfortable. You see, because that's what it is. You see, the matrix is actually based on you not believing on yourself. You understand? The matrix is based on you not believing on yourself. So when you learn how to believe in yourself, then you're able to actually create a better life experience, meaning now you're going to master your life, master yourself, then master the matrix, and you're not actually a victim anymore. However, that takes conscious choice, okay? When you feel anxious or overwhelmed, bring yourself back into your body, right? There's techniques you can use, breathing or breath work techniques, like inhaling for a count of 4, okay, and then holding it for 2, and then slowly exhaling for the count of 6 to 8. Remember, a lot of people are not breathing enough. We're not breathing fully into our lower stomachs, okay? We're not using all the capacity. And when you're breathing in and you're breathing out, you're actually circulating energies. You are moving stifled, stagnant energies that no longer serve you out of your body, out of your system, right? And you're clearing your mind and soothing your mind. Breath work is soothing, like how a baby breathes. When you touch a baby and you rub its back and it's sleeping, you can feel the baby is being soothed. And the baby's breathing. It's not holding its breath. So human beings as adults, we tend to have anxiety and anxiousness and we forget to breathe. Let it go and release that fear because that fear needs a way out, right? For you to gain your higher consciousness, your energy. So that breathing technique of inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 2, and then exhale slowly, not fast, slowly. And as you're exhaling, you are feeling your body. You need to have a connection and a relationship with your body again, because we taught that in the hustle and the grind of life, you don't have time to grind yourself, to ground yourself. And then you forget that your body is important, right? You're thinking, working and operating from the mind. You're working and operating from the mind. So this breathing techniques helps you to anchor yourself into your body, and then and into the now moment, because again, as I said, that we're constantly thinking about the future or the past. We're either looking back and regretting what we did yesterday, what we did not achieve, what we did achieve, right? We're always judging ourselves. I think that we can be our own, harshest critics. We can be our own harshest critics. We criticize ourselves more than the world or anybody else criticizes us, right? So remember that you have to be kind to yourself. You have to love and accept yourself for you to raise your frequency. To cultivate your inner peace and self acceptance is to appreciate yourself first. And then you begin to accept yourself because you appreciate yourself. So practice radical self acceptance. It means you start accepting who you are at this very moment. You're not putting it off and say, I'll only accept myself or only be happy with myself when I lose a certain weight, when I get a certain job, when I get that, when I'm in a relationship or when I'm married or somebody loves me. Remember that when you're seeking love and acceptance from somewhere else outside of you, it doesn't work very well, because you attract who you are. That means you're going to attract somebody aligned to your frequency who does not accept or love themselves. Now you're going to be together and you're both seeking a validation from each other, and yet you're not understanding that you need to first recognize and accept yourselves first individually before you're able to now give love and also attract love into your life experience, right? So you have to be able to journal as well. Write down your feelings about your life experience. What parts of yourself are you not accepting? Maybe physical parts, maybe not accepting your body shape, or maybe not affecting your imperfections, as you call them, your blemishes on your appearances. Maybe not accepting the fact that you have some weaknesses in your life experience within yourself. Right? You journal these things down, right? And you ask yourself, what am I not accepting about myself? Why am I not accepting these things? What am I afraid of? When did this begin? You keep asking yourself the questions, even if there's no answers at that moment. Remember that you will write it down and come back to it in a later stage, maybe tomorrow. Right? So remember that you have 7 days a week, and each of these days you need to come in and be and engage in life in a very positive, empowering way, because that's going to add to your happiness, your peace, and your self-acceptance. Now remember that nobody else can give you that self-acceptance. It's a personal experience that you have to choose for you to grow and evolve and become the best version of yourself. For you to have peace is you to accept who you are now first, right? Then number two, because now you're having this practice, okay? You're having this practice of self-awareness. You're not meditating. You're doing your breath work. Now you also are meditating, so you can actually now see your thoughts, not responding, not reacting, just watching your thoughts as you are breathing in and breathing out in silence, anchoring yourself into your day and into the moment every morning before you start your day's activities. Right now, you're beginning to understand your thoughts, your inner thoughts, and your self talk. What quality is your self thoughts and your inner talk? Is it positive quality? Or you saying all positive things, or are you criticizing yourself? Right? As I said, you can be your own worst critic. We can be our own worst critics. Okay. Then limit energetic overload. Right? In other words, with every stroll, every conversation, and every environmental influences your vibration. Right? Every action, every stroll, every interaction with every person influences your vibration, your frequency. Now remember that everything's energy, right? So we know that it's already been proven that we are energetic beings having a human experience. We are spirits, energy, having a human experience. Our bodies have a frequency as well. Our body is energy. So you being energy, All right. When you attract yourself or connect yourself to energies and vibrations that are low frequency, you affect your own frequency. Because remember that you can only, in most cases, go up in most cases, depending on what you are exposing yourself to. Or you can go down as well if you bring your frequency down by you now allowing or consenting to engage in low frequency stimuli or experiences. Maybe content by strolling every morning. A lot of people, the first thing they do in the morning, they close their eyes and they take their phone and they start strolling into social media or start checking their messages or something. They don't hook themselves within themselves. They start externalizing straight away as soon as they get up in the morning. And that really affects your frequency. Right? Some people love the news and they go and watch news on social media, on the internet, sorry. They watch social news, all the negative news. The first thing you need to understand that you are the master of your own reality. You are in charge of your frequency. You number one. You're the most important thing in your life experience because you are the one that's creating this life experience. So you have to start with now being very partial about what you expose yourself to. Be very, very partial, right? Be more aware of what you expose yourself to. That's how you can actually get yourself to have peace and self-acceptance by you owning yourself and stop always externalizing yourself all the time by going on social media first thing in the morning. As soon as you wake up and brush your teeth, then you go and you grab your phone. Some people even do it before they even brush their teeth. As soon as they get up, because the phone is next to you on your table, next to your bed, pick it up and they start engaging and watching and consuming all the things that people have been posting right now. You haven't set your intention yet. By you doing that, you are setting your intention by unconsciously absorbing all the external stimuli and experiences instead of you creating or deciding on what you want to experience for that day. You decide on what you want to experience for that day. That's your intention that you're going to set. And you should be setting an intention every single morning before you start getting involved in your daily activities, right? So be selective to who you attach yourself to and what you attach yourself to, right? Don't just allow your mental space to be hijacked. Your mental space is your own world, it's your universe. Your mental space is your own world, your specific universe, right? So don't allow your mental space to be hijacked first thing in the morning, right? Because remember, that's all information. And now it's gonna start clouding your own perception about who you are. And it's gonna start allowing you to actually question yourself and who you are and your choices. You understand? Now you're gonna start looking outside and looking within yourself. Begin every day with silence before you look at your messages or any social media posts. As I said, or updates, wait, patience. You need to first prepare yourself for the day. Okay? End your day by unplugging. Now remember, you've been plugged to the matrix the whole day. You've been going to work, you're going to school, you're going to the business, you've been traveling, you've been integrating yourself with the world for the whole day, engaging with others. Now, in the evening, it's time for you to unplug. A lot of people don't do that, right? We don't consciously decide, okay, I am unplugging, I'm unwinding from this day, right? Because we're not living in most cases in with intention. We're living in autopilot. So if you're living in autopilot, you don't even realize that, okay, I need to unplug from this day. I need to let go of this day and prepare myself for my rest to sleep. Now, remember that the matrix is counting on you forgetting who you are, which we all have been doing that. We all have forgotten who we are. So we're not consciously making decisions. Morning intentional practice by having intentions for your day, setting your intention. Then because when you start doing that morning practice every single day, it affects your day as well, right? That's my experience. Since I start now having my mornings intentional practice every morning, it affects my my day positively. I'm able to remember what I set, the intention that I set in the morning before I left for the office or whatever I'm doing that day. It reminds me of who I am, because your intentions are basically you telling the universe, you're telling God, this is who I am. I am peace, I am success, right? I am flow, right? I'm ready to have a wonderful day. And I'm not accepting this is what I am expecting, right? And accepting. I'm expecting a wonderful day with peace and wellness, because I am wellness and peace. And what happens is that you manifest exactly that, because your intention is that powerful, guys. Your intention and your request is that powerful. And people don't believe that, but it does. You must try it, because it's what I practice, and I've proven to myself that my intention is very powerful. Every morning I start with the intention, and I live by my intention. Hi, Cho, I hope you're doing well. Oh, I hope you're doing well, guy. Today we're talking about how to become full of peace and cultivate that peace within yourself, right? And also accept yourself, self-acceptance in the matrix system in life, with all its chaos, with all that's going on, all the social media things that we've been exposed to. Hi, Sina, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well, lovey. Tandy way. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. I'm Sisin, life coach and motivation speaker. Today we're speaking about a very interesting topic called how to cultivate peace and self-acceptance in the matrix system in life. Okay. With all the chaos that's going on in life, with all the chaos that's happening around us, continuous stimulus from outside, social media, mass media, all these things happening, right? We forget to focus on ourselves, and your inner peace and self-acceptance is about you focusing on yourself and zoning on yourself, and putting yourself first, and putting your peace and your wellness first, right? Align with love and not with fear. This is one of the major things, okay? Align with love and not with fear, because the matrix feeds fear, lack, and scarcity. The system feeds fear, lack, and scarcity. Okay, so you have to intentionally align yourself each day with gratitude, right? When you align yourself to gratitude, you're saying, yes, what I have now at this moment is enough. I'm happy for my bed. I don't care how small it is or how big it is, but I have a bed, and I'm thankful and grateful that I slept very well, right? And I'm ready to start this day. It's not about what you have, guys. It's about how you appreciate it, how you experience, how you perceive your life experience. Because it's been proven that even those that have many material things, wealth, are still unhappy, because they're not focusing on what's the real things that matter in life: yourself, your wellness, your perception. Because remember that your inner peace is important, much more important than the latest Apple iPhone, or the latest vehicle or car, or whatever sort it may be, or the latest whatever you like in its material. Your spirit is more powerful, because it transcends all experiences, right? In other words, your spirit survives the death of the physical. Your spirit never dies, right? Your spirit is waiting for you, right, to detach from the ego and focus more on your self awareness. Okay, so my channel is about self awareness and self development, spirituality, as well, and expansion. You understand? That's why I'm talking about this type of topics. Align yourself to love and not fear. In a system where fear, bad news is spread so fast, you understand? You need to understand it's all an illusion. You need to create your own reality. People say things, but it's real. It's happening for real. No, it's not. Is it happening to you at this moment? Are you experiencing that, or are you hearing it? So you have a choice to either go and put yourself closer to information that's uplifting than information that's bringing you down, and you say, yes, this world is a bad place. Yes, bad things are happening here. Yes, we all understand that. However, good things are also happening as well. So you choose, as I said yesterday in my life, you choose the frequency that you want to align to. You choose the perceptions that you want to aligned to you. Choose the belief systems that you want to adapt as your own, because life, the matrix, doesn't force you. You get up every morning and you decide to stroll, and then you go and you anchor yourself or your attention on a negative post, on something that's criticizing other people, or something political that's just about negative news. You understand? So you choose, because you're the master of your own reality. So for you to find that peace and inner acceptance, you need to also decide on which content, what news do you want to actually immerse yourself in. In other words, which frequency you want to align yourself to. So gratitude is very important. Choose compassion over judgment. Do not judge yourself, and don't judge others either, right? Okay, then creates over consumption, right? You notice creation and overconsumption. That's what I'm talking about. You need to decide, are you going to be a consumer who's over consuming, or you're going to create? And when I'm saying talking about create, you can do anything. Maybe it's dancing that you love to do, right? Make videos of yourself dancing, the things you like to do, not necessarily for social media, but for your own benefit. Because remember, you're not looking for validation from outside. Now, social media can be used in two ways: for personal validation, or else for personal growth. You understand, or just for enjoyment, or maybe for incitement and information. The social media is a great platform for us to engage with each other, right? And communicate our thoughts and our feelings and our ideas, and also encourage each other in life. So remember, you are source. We are all source. You are part of God. We are source, and we are source of our own creation. True peace is not found outside of the matrix. It's found within you. You cultivate it from within you. You cultivate your peace from within you. You choose to be grateful for everything that you have in your life. You choose to choose peace in your life. The moment you remember that you are source, divine source, your reality and will change. You stop being a prisoner or the victim of the system of life. Okay, now you become your own master of your own life experience. You then remember that you are a creator of your reality, creating within divine source, creating and being a co-creator with God, divine source. Okay, we are all fragmentations of divine source of God, so we are able to change and fix our own life experience, right? We can choose differently in our lives. We can then take our power back from the matrix system. Instead of you being a victim, right, and being a drifter, you decide, well, what I want to do in life. I want to better myself. I want to become a better person. Self-acceptance is important, right? And self-development. Understand and the paradox between the matrix and self-acceptance as well. The matrix is an energetic construct. It's an energetic construct, right? It's not a solid thing we can see, but we can feel it and understand that we are in the system. Okay, we can see also on how things are actually playing out in this reality, that there's a control system, that there is something that's actually um, influencing our everyday thoughts, right? Then we understand that we are in a simulation, we are in a matrix. The matrix is an energetic construct of our collective beliefs and our collective conditioning as well. Our collective beliefs and our collective conditioning. Now, just try and imagine in your mind, out of all the is it 80 billion people, or 8 billion, sorry, 8 billion people in the world, as I say, right? Each single person comes from a family and a background and a culture. Okay, they have belief systems, they have worldviews. Each single person, as I said yesterday, if you draw blocks on a piece of paper, blank piece of paper, and if you could draw something like 8 billion blocks, okay, all those blocks are individual people, right, living in your own realities, aligned to their own belief systems and their perceptions, right? And now all these people engage. And now we have an engagement which has been expanded due to the internet, okay? The World Wide Web has allowed us now to share our own perceptions and expand ourselves across the globe using the interface called the internet, right? Now, but all of us having different belief systems, right? Belief systems, yeah, every single person has their own belief system, their own conditioning. Now we're coming and we're engaging, and now we're creating this collective experience called life. We're creating the macro experience of life, or called the matrix as well, right? So it's a system that we contribute to. Our energies add to the energies of the system itself. That's why I'm saying that the matrix is nothing outside of you. You are actually creating it. You are not a victim of it. It's a system within systems, right? And we are in control. However, most of us have chosen not to be in control. We want to be victims, right? Because we need somebody to lead us. We need somebody to tell us how to live. We need somebody to tell us how to be, instead of us choosing our own life experience and being sovereign beings, okay? Now, it's also designed to challenge you. It's also designed to challenge you. The matrix is designed to challenge you. It's to challenge you to see if you are ready for all the things that you want in life, right? Are you ready for this? Are you at the right frequency and understanding? Will you be able to take responsibility of what is coming in your life? When people, for example, a simple thing, apply for jobs, right? People say that I cannot get a job. I've been applying for so long. The question is, you're not in the right frequency. You don't have that frequency that's aligning you, that can align you to the job that you want, because you have limiting belief systems around it. You feel like you're out of control, and when you feel out of control, even if you go for an interview, you don't show up as your best person that you can be, right? Because remember, you're selling yourself to the system. Okay, there has to be an alignment. When you apply for a job, you have an alignment to the job. That's why they listen to you, listen to what you're saying, right? Then you tell them about your skills, you tell them about your likes and your dislikes, you tell them about your life experiences. Now they're tapping into your frequency. That's how they get to know you, right? They're tapping into your frequency, and really it's not always only about your qualifications. It's also about your energy, how you relate to these people. Remember, you're selling yourself. It's like you're marketing yourself. So now you have to kind of convince them in a way, in that 30 minutes or 45 minutes, that you are aligned to this job, that and you can convince them that you can add value to the organization or their department. You have those 30 minutes to 45 minutes to convince them with your conversations, how you engaging, and when they're asking you questions, how you interacting to those questions, right? It's all about energy after all. We just see the physical side of things, my words, my CV, my qualifications. Also about the vibe that you are letting out, your frequency, your energy. That's very important. That is why sometimes it happens that a person can get a job without having all the necessary qualifications, but they have that thing, that enthusiasm about life, enthusiasm about their position, enthusiasm about themselves. They're positive about themselves and able to sell themselves and their skills and their abilities. You understand? Because it's all a frequency, it's all an energy, that vibe. Like, how are you looking at them? Are you looking in their eyes? Are you engaging with them? Are you asking questions too as well about the position? Are you seeming to be interested? Right? You're not feeling like shy by looking down and not keeping eye contact with them. You know what I mean? And communicating. So once you start doing that, you start getting better when it comes to things like interviewing and even public speaking, because now you're engaging with people, right? It's like, okay, I'm talking to a friend here. You feel at ease. That's how it is. Like, that's your energy. That's your frequency, right? But remember, that's how you can get your self-acceptance, by you learning these things. Self-acceptance is very important to the game of life, right? The matrix is an energetic construct, as I said. It's all about energy, right? It's an energetic construct that's created by our collective belief systems and our conditioning, right? How we see life individually. So we come as individuals, sorry, and we create this whole reality called this matrix life experience. Okay. Now remember, there are those that have more power, right? However, every single person has power. So the more the ordinary person in the matrix lets go of their power gets taken by somebody else. As I said, if you don't write and take charge of your own life experience, right? You don't write your mission down and take charge of your own life experience, life will just happen to you. Somebody else will assign that meaning to your own life. You understand? That's why every morning you get up and you say your affirmations, you set your intentions, right? Because you'll drive on the road if you don't set your intentions, and you'll be influenced by every single person's frequency because they've already set their intentions unconsciously in most cases, right? So you need to do it consciously. It's more powerful when you consciously decide, this is my intention for the day, this is who I am, and this is how I intend to show up in the world today. Right? Now, if you practice that every single day, and then go back in the evening and journal your experiences of the day, and then understand where you are in terms of your vibration. Very important. That's taking ownership. Remember that the matrix likes people that take ownership. In other words, you get rewarded when you take ownership of your life in the matrix game, in life itself. You get rewarded because you're able to now achieve things, and you show up better in life when you take ownership of your life experience. Very important. Okay, the matrix tests your alignment each time before it rewards your expansion. As I said, it tests your alignment, your frequency, before it rewards your expansion. Okay, as I said, I gave an example of applying for a position. The people are impressed, and then yeah, they'll say, I'll get back to you. You can even see their feedback will be positive. Right now, you're gonna get your reward because you have already been tested. You've already been tested. This happens even in every areas of our life, even with our finances, in our workspaces, everywhere. Okay, number 9, acceptance is not giving up. Right now, people say, why should I accept what life is now? Doesn't mean I'm giving up. I don't want to give up. No, acceptance is not giving up. Acceptance is not giving up. It's not giving resistance. That's what acceptance is. It's letting go of resistance to what is now in your reality. And it doesn't mean it's not going to change, because things are constantly changing. Remember, they say that even this too shall pass, because nothing in this life is staying the same. We think it is and we feel it is, right? Because there's subtle change in our life experience. We are looking for big changes, and yet things change subtly in life, not fast and not big, not in a big way in most cases, right? So we many make the mistake to acceptance as giving up, right? They say that acceptance is, I'm giving up now. I'm not going to do anything. I'm accepting it. It means I'm giving up. No. In truth, acceptance is a higher form of alignment. You're accepting what is happening now in your life, and that is a higher form of alignment. You align and you're not resisting, right? When you accept where you are at this moment, you stop resisting your current reality. Remember that your current reality is created by choices, circumstances, and decisions, and things you did, you and the belief system and worldview that you have. So your current life experience is created by you. You're not a victim. It never just happened. It never just happened that you're in this relationship that you're not happy with. You chose to be in that relationship. You're not hijacked. You made the decision. You said yes to that person, and you chose to believe what he said to you or what she said to you. Now you seem like a victim because now you find that this person is not truthful, this person's cheating, and then you feel like a victim, and you said, but this person never tell me that who they truly are. They acted like somebody else, and now they changed. No, they haven't changed. You are realizing now that yes, I made the wrong decision, and now you need to blame somebody else for your own life experience. That is not accepting your life, your part that you played in life. You're never a victim because you made that decision. You said yes, you were in that relationship and you enjoyed it. Maybe at first it was good, it went well, and then down the line, you find that the person has been lying to you, the person's been living a double life. There's two of y'all or three of y'all, and you think you're the only person that is dating or with at that moment, right? And all the red flags, you never pay attention to them because you are afraid of the truth, okay? People don't like to pay attention to red flags in relationships because they're afraid of encountering the truth, of losing that person, of losing that facade of what they think this relationship is instead of facing the truth. You got to wake up. You understand? So it's all about accepting. Accept and understanding that acceptance is not giving up. Accept what it is now. Yes, this person's cheating. What can I do next? Because I have a choice to stay in the relationship or to move on, right? I'm using this as an example on how we can use acceptance and how we can play it out in our life experience. Self-acceptance, accepting life for what it is now. Remember that it's forever evolving and changing. Very important, right? So the matrix is counting on you being a drifter, not accepting your life experience, and you become a victim, and then you live your life as a victim, and then you're miserable, and you are blaming everybody outside of you, and not blaming yourself, not taking accountability, right? So remember that accepting where you are now is not giving up, is a point of power. Many people make that mistake by not accepting where they are at this moment, right? They rejected, they resisted, they kick and scream and shout instead of taking the higher choice of accepting where you are now. Because the truth is, acceptance is a higher form of alignment. It's how you align. When you accept where you are now, you stop resisting your current reality. And remember that your reality can be changed by you at any time because you have created a current reality, right? This relates to uh, to releasing energies that are blocking your progress, right, and your frequency. So you're able to release all things that are not working for you. Okay, I am where I am now. The question is, what have I been doing? What have I been practicing? What is my belief that's kept me or brought me where I am now? What can I release? You understand? You cannot release or make a change if you haven't accepted your responsibility, your role in your life experience of where you are now, right? So it's important for you to accept who you are now and then ask yourself, how did I get here? What can I change in my life, in my worldview, maybe in my actions, in my beliefs? What can I change? Then you're able to change, right? Now you're beginning to unblock yourself, all right? You may learn to make the best of where you are at the moment, right? That's another choice that you have. You may learn how to make the best of where you are at the moment. Now we hear the saying like that says, make lemonade with lemons, right? Accept your situation where you are now. In other words, you learn to make the best out of it. How can I find peace in this job that I don't really like? How can I find contentment in this relationship that I think that this person's not right for me? However, there's things that's benefiting me in this relationship. There are things that are benefiting me in this job. I totally don't like this job, but there are things that are benefiting me. It's working for me, but I don't totally like it altogether. But however, I'm going to make the best of it. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be applying for other jobs, right? In the relationship, I'm going to either accept this person for who he is, because you cannot change a person. I love him a lot, or I love her a lot. I'm going to accept them for who they are and learn to see how we can make a life together. If it's not working, you're trying, that's not working, and you have another option to withdraw yourself from the relationship. Same with a job, same thing. If you feel you're not happy and you've tried to make lemonade out of lemons by trying to work with the situation you have, and it's not working out for you, you can then decide to look for a job somewhere else, or even step away for a while and be unemployed for that moment to give yourself, as long as you have the resources for to sustain you, and you can take care of yourself for the period of being unemployed. Now, a lot of people don't just do that because it's a risky choice to make. The best thing to do is apply for a better job while you're in that job, right? And learn to accept where you are now and find the good things and find your happiness within that job space where you are. And then while you're applying for other jobs, right? That's how you do it in the matrix. You take ownership of your life experience. You don't make yourself feel miserable and blame everything and everybody outside of you. You blame your manager, you blame your partner, you blame every person. You got to take ownership. This is your game of life, okay? Now, the matrix is counting on you not taking ownership of your life. The matrix system is counting on you not taking ownership of your life experience. You always complaining. People that complain are never happy people. They're always frowning and they're unhappy because they're always complaining. They don't find anything good in their life experience to be grateful for. They're never thankful. Do you want to be that type of person that's low frequency? As I told you yesterday, in the matrix system, there's two energies, okay? There's high frequency, connected to love, appreciation, compassion, understanding. And then there's low frequency, right? There's two things, energies in the matrix, as I said. So you must take notes of that, okay? As I said yesterday, love consciousness, unity consciousness, rooted in source, in God, based on compassion, being authentic, and truth, and connected to truth, and service to all, service to yourself, because you cannot serve others without serving yourself, because we're all connected, right? It's about expansion and awakening, right? Expansion and awakening, being aware. Power is subtle and long lasting and soul based. When you are high frequency, you accept where you are, right? You're now in a situation that you don't like. However, you can't just walk away, because you don't have the means to walk away from a job that's paying your bills. It's allowing you to pay your bills. It's a job that's allowing you to be stable financially. It's allowing you to have things that you need in your life, right? So why would you just walk away from the job like that, even if you don't like it, right? While you're there, you start applying, you start expanding yourself, right? Write your CV and send it out. Speak to people that may hook you to better positions. You understand? Don't just decide, well, I'm just going to complain every single day. Complaint is not going to help you. You need to be appreciative. Um, Start adapting a frequency of self-acceptance, and also accepting where you are. So self-acceptance is always accepting where you are at the moment, because you carry yourself wherever you go. Because even if you leave that job, if you don't accept yourself, don't love yourself, you'll get a better job, right? But you find issues, because the issues within yourself. It's not really the job. Good morning, VD. How are you doing, my love? Hope you're doing well. Right, today we're talking about how to cultivate inner peace and self-acceptance in life in the matrix system. Right. So yesterday we spoke about the matrix, and we also spoke about the energies of the matrix and life and how things are. Right. Today we are talking about how you can cultivate your peace and self-acceptance right here and be happy in the system, because this is a system consisting of different systems, as I spoke about yesterday. We spoke about the financial system that's running the system, right? We talk about religious, talk about political, we talk about the social things like social media, entertainment, and everything else. Spoke about that. Interesting topic. Let me get comfortable. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining VD. Right. So we're talking about how you can have peace in this reality that's so chaotic and so gaslighting and manipulative as well. So you need to own yourself. It's like taking ownership, taking autonomy of yourself, as I said early on, right? In this world full of noise, VD, a world full of noise and confusion, right? This is an illusional reality, okay? What you see on social media, what you see on mass media is not necessarily the real thing, right? There's a reason why things are put out there, narratives are put out there. Number one, to sell products, to get your attention, right? Your attention is the greatest commodity. Your attention, your focus, your energy is the greatest commodity. Second, to your money, right? These two work together. Your money, where you're putting your money, and also your focus. What are you consuming? Which contents are you zoning into? Right? With information, which narratives are you zoning to? Are you zoning to all these many different words they're throwing around? Or you zoning into yourself, your peace, your wellness? Remember that there is the universe. but we all have our own individual universes, our own reality, our own life experiences. You are a character on your stage. You live in your life wherever you are, VD, right? You live in your life, okay? I'm living my life. Trump is living his life. All these other people, every single person is living their own life, right? Why should you be emotionally connected to somebody else's life experience? Intentionally, why are you connecting yourself to somebody else's experience? Excuse me. Right now, you have to take ownership of your own life experience, because I cannot live your life for you and you cannot live my own life, right? If I want to be happy, I want to have peace. I can't expect you to give me happiness and peace, right? So I need to cultivate my own happiness and peace, because of the fact that it's impossible. Nobody can make me happy, and nobody can make you happy. Nobody can make you feel at peace in a place that's chaotic, because the matrix system makes you unstable. You don't feel at peace with all that's going on. At the same time, you need to go work and grind, right? You need to go make money for you to have the material things in your life. Now, remember that material things don't necessarily bring you that peace, that long lasting peace. Material things bring you pleasure, the pleasure of having a new vehicle, a pleasure of having safety in a home, a pleasure of having good healthy foods. That's all pleasure. It's not happiness. Your happiness is outside all these things. And it's been proven, I mean, really, the people with nothing, the most povertized people in the world, seem to be the most happiest people, content with what they have. And you see them children are playing in they're joyful and everything. But in the Western world, they're locking their children out inside the house. You understand? They're not feeling free, not feeling safe. You get my point? Because it's all an inner game. It's an inner game. It's within yourself, right? So I spoke about the world being full of noise and distraction. The matrix being the illusion. What we call matrix is actually that illusion reality, right? That, remember that, right? The only thing that's true is what's happening to you at this moment. What's happening outside, you're not experiencing it, right? You're only hearing about it. So then what you do, you tune into that thing that you're hearing, that reality, that narrative, and you choose to actually experience it the way you understand it. That is why when people watch news or get to hear information about the war in Congo or the war anywhere else in the world, right? You're not there, but then because of your perceptions, that's how you get to understand it, and then you start beginning to experience it in your own consciousness. You start feeling sad, you start feeling angry because of whatever sort of maybe depending, like the Palestinian Israeli conflict has been going on for many, many, many years, right? You have people that were siding on either side, right? And those people never even been to Palestine, they've never ever been to Israel, and they've never been with those people, but they've heard it on the news, and they sort of taking sides and making narratives in their own heads and making decisions what they feel about that specific experience, but something happening outside of them, far away. You understand? So if we could just collectively first raise our frequencies for where we are at the moment, right? When we all individually raise our frequency and our understanding, we also help the world frequency to go up. You understand? There'll be less wars if more people can be more compassionate, more people can be more loving, as I said, more people zoning into the energy of love and peace and self-acceptance, accepting others as well. Because you cannot truly be somebody of self-acceptance if you don't accept others. You understand? Because we all are connected, and I am an expression of your own certain frequency, right? That's how we align at this moment. You understand? Or you are also an expression of my own frequency. There's something that's aligning us together. That's why we're all on this live now. That's why you're all hooked up to this live. You understand? And you align to my topic. You understand? Because it's a frequency, it's an understanding, it's energy. Detaching from the external validation. I spoke about that as well, right? No, in the matrix really thrives on you feeling not enough, you comparing yourself to other people, because everything's about comparing, right? They always tell you that you can only be a successful person if you have this type of job, if you drive a certain car, if you live in this certain area of the world, or you live in certain type of house, right? How much money you have and what job you have. Then now people start defining themselves with these labels and titles, not understanding that you are more than your job, you are more than your label, right? You understand that kind of thing. So people don't understand that it's all about within you, not the material things. The material things are about the pleasures of life, the comforts of life. They are not you, and they don't determine your life experience. You determine your life experience, okay? Then remember that you are source, that you're part of God. I spoke about that as well. Well, and self-acceptance is important, okay? Very important to understand the paradox of the matrix and growth. The matrix is an energetic construct, right, of our collective belief systems and our collective conditioning individually, and our collective conditioning and our individual belief systems and collective belief systems, all about energy. It's designed to challenge us. Okay, it's a mirror. It mirrors the mirror of our inner states. It mirrors our inner states. Okay, like my life now mirrors my inner states. Okay, your life now mirrors your inner states. You're not a victim. When you change your inner states, meaning you change your frequency, you change your perception, you change your worldview, then you begin to mirror a different reality, because your states will be different. It will be evolved. You understand? That's what it's all about, right? So can I repeat that again? Okay. The matrix is just the mirror of our inner reality, our inner belief systems, our inner worldviews, our inner assumptions about ourselves and about life. Okay. Everything you experience in your life at this moment is just a mirror, a reflection of your worldview, your inner self, your assumptions about yourself, right? So you need to understand that as well. You are not a victim. So how can you change your life experience? You've got to change your worldview. You've got to change your belief systems that are limiting, that are stopping you from becoming that person you want to become. Oh, that's why it's important to watch your thoughts, what you say about yourself. Yes, it's very important. Remember, what you say about yourself is normally what you believe about yourself. However, it's not concrete. It's not solid. You can always change what you believe about yourself, right? Because your words you are saying about yourself are coming from what you believe about yourself, right? So you need to change what you believe about yourself. Remove the limiting belief systems about yourself, that you are a loser, all those negative things, that you're not capable, that you're not good enough, that you don't have enough, that you can never have money, that only wellness and abundance is only for certain people, not for you, because of the things you saw in your life, in your family. You haven't seen people living that life that you want to live. Now, you dare to dream outside the box. You dare to live outside the parameters of your life experience now. Remember, they always say that you as a child of your mother and your parents, you should have been living a better experience, a different experience than what they've been living, right? Now, now you have to challenge yourself for you to able to achieve that, right? If you are born in a family where nobody went to university, nobody was a graduate, you're supposed to live above that. You're supposed to live above that. Or you come from a family, but live above it by you achieving those things that they failed to achieve, because you have better resources now. Um make use of the resources you have at this moment. Make use of the resources you have at this moment. In our parents' youth and younger years, they never had the internet. They didn't have instant information at their fingertips, right? They didn't have all these things that we can now connect with people. You're living in Africa and you can connect to somebody even in Iceland, or some in oceanic countries, maybe New Zealand or even America. Now you can connect to them because of the internet interface, right? Before our parents, our people came before us, our own parents now at this moment. right? My mom is now going to be almost 80 years old. Now imagine 80 years ago, life wasn't the way it is now, right? Even the perceptions were different. Everything was about different things than they are now. You see my point? So now we have the opportunity now to take advantage of what we have, to build a better life experience for us and for every single person, right? Because it's all about oneness. We're all connected. You know, if you talk to your parent now who's 80 or 70 years old, they don't understand what you mean by connected. How can we all be connected? Because I am me and you are you, how we connected. Well, we know about quantum physics, that which they don't know. You see, we have more information now. The question is, what are you doing with information that's afforded to you now? How are you integrating this information to your life experience? How are you making your life better and the life of the people around you better? Because when you better yourself, you better other people's life experience as well. Remember what they say, that if we all everybody's connected, right? Everybody's connected. I think that even in African culture, we talk about Ubuntu, right? It's the same concept, right? We all connected. You get my point? My success is dependent on you, and your success is dependent on me. Meaning the energy is the motivation that I'm giving you, the inspiration that I'm giving you, or even the role model that I'm being for you is inspiring you. That's the motivation I'm giving you, right? So that means we're all affected in that way, even in little communities. The only thing now is that we're living so much in a Western way of thinking that we've learned the basicness of being African, Ubuntu, to love and accept each other, even if you believe something different than I am, even if you are driving a car and I don't have a car, it doesn't mean that you and I are not connected. It just means that you have a material thing that I don't have. I choose, because in most cases I can't afford it, right? But I choose to use public transport because I prefer that. You understand? But it doesn't mean that you and I are different. It doesn't mean that you're more special because you have a car, right? And we can also motivate each other like that in small, little communities, right? But what I love about the internet is a great platform to motivate and inspire other people without even meeting them face to face. Because it's all an energetic exchange, you understand? That's why I do what I do. That's why I do social media. Because when I was younger, I never had this type of influence. Or you had those TV influencers, the Oprah Winfrey and stuff like that, where you had to wait a certain time every day to tune in and watch TV, right? And watch the program. Now we have the internet and the videos are there. All you have to do is go back all the time and just go look, or even look at it, or tune into a live like what we're doing now, and interacting and encouraging each other. Okay. So if you have any questions, go ahead to ask questions, right? So I'm Sissy, life coach and motivational speaker. My channel is about self-awareness, self-development, and spirituality and expansion. So, Vidi, if you're not following, or not, sorry, not if you're not subscribed to my channel, because I also have a TikTok channel as well. As I always say, like between follow and subscribe. If you have not subscribed to my channel as yet, my love, go ahead and subscribe, okay? And then you can join my community of like-minded people that are focused on self-development and self-awareness, right? So I post a lot of videos, as you can see. I've got a lot of videos, over 1,000 videos now on my social media, right? But my numbers are building up too gradually. I got now over 200 people that are on now subscribe to my channel. But I'm looking forward to expanding it further to get more people to engage with my content and stuff like that, right? So go ahead and subscribe to my channel, love, okay? So acceptance is not giving up. For you to make a change in your life, you need to accept where you are. I spoke about that. Acceptance is not giving up. Acceptance is a powerful point where you are not giving any resistance. Resistance means that what you resist will persist. So when you are accepting, you at ease, right? Many people mistake it for giving up. It's not giving up. In truth, acceptance is the higher form of alignment, right? When you accept where you are at this moment, right, and stop resisting your reality as it is at this moment, this releases the energy blocks. That resistance gets released. The energy blocks get released. That's keeping you stuck, right? Because you truly cannot be stuck. You're only stuck when you are giving a lot of resistance of where you are. You understand? You may learn to make the best of where you are at this moment, right? This is a nice twist to it's meaning transforming what you have to what you really want it to be, right? Aligning it to what you want it to be, re labeling it to something better. You understand? Yeah, that's what it is. You like the sub right after I saw you teaching an interesting topic. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm happy that you are engaging in my topic, right? In my life. I like this type of topics because they help us to remember who we are and the power that we have as people. You are not a victim of your life experience, right? You're the creator of your life experience. So when you release the energy blocks by you accepting where you are at this moment, right? It opens pathways for you now to have insights and aha moments on how to make your life better. Now you change your frequency. So now you're aligning to higher frequency experiences, right? When you begin to release the resistance and release the blocks, okay? You may learn to make the best of where you are, as I said. You want to assign new meanings to things, make them more positive, okay? I release all the resistance to what is at this moment. You can tell yourself that in the morning. I release the resistance. I'm accepting what is at this moment. I'm accepting my life for what it is at this moment. Knowing that I can change it, knowing that I have the power to change it, right? You need to empower yourself every single day. All right, knowing that it is guiding me. The situation is teaching me something about myself. It's a guidance. It's a teacher. I'm not a victim. It's not attacking me, right? This situation I find myself in now, what can I learn about it? How did I get here? Right? What perception, what belief, what assumption, what actions have led me to where I am at this moment? How can I change it? Because I am the master of my own reality. I'm not a victim. Things are not happening to me, happening for me and through me. I'm the master of my own reality. That's how you tap into sovereignty, true sovereignty. Then working with the matrix is not working against it, right? Working with the system, with life, with the matrix system is not working against it. The matrix operates on energy, attention, and vibration. If you fight it, you feed into the resistance. Okay. So the matrix operates on energy, attention, and vibration. And when you fight the matrix, you feed it with resistance. And you don't want to do that because you will get resistance back. You understand? Because you get what you put out. If you learn to flow with the awareness of and the focus, you begin to bend it. You bend your reality. You bend your reality. You bend the matrix. You start getting synchronicities to help you show that you're on the right path because now you're raising your frequency. Guys, this is a flow. The matrix game is a flow. The game of life is a flow. How to work with the matrix consciously. Number one, master your focus. What you're focusing on every single day. Your morning practice is important. Start your day with positive intention. Don't start strolling and going to social media. Stop thinking about the past problems. The argument you had yesterday, that's the past. Start focusing on the new day. Intention is important. That's how you actually master the matrix, right? Do not react to every external happening or circumstance, right? Remember, there's a 2 second rule where you can observe. Don't respond, don't react, just observe. Sometimes things that happen externally don't need your response. A person comes in the morning on your way to work, you prepare for the day, you're listening to lovely music, and a person just starts crossing the road while you and the robots are red for them, and there you are. Now you had to put on your sudden brakes, you get upset, right? So how do you feel about when that happens? You have to choose how you respond to that incident. You start swearing the person, what do? Then or you can just realize that this person is having a bad morning, or that person is not paying attention. It's a human thing. The person is not a robot. It's a person with emotion. They're probably worrying about something happening in their life, and now they're not paying attention to where they're walking. So have compassion. There's other way of responding, or else you can just attack that person. It's up to you. But remember, always choose a higher choice, a higher frequency choice or response. Do not react to every extended illusion, media, fear, comparisons as well, right? Don't react to everything that's out there, the illusion, the media, the fear, the comparison, okay? And all that nonsense. Like how everybody fell for that Kim Kardashian is the most beautiful woman with the most beautiful body. You know, that was years ago. You know what I mean? When this whole Kim Kardashian and the BBL came out, and every woman went to go do an operation to choose to change their backside and put a BBL, artificial BBL, and all those things, the backside that's constructed. You understand? Because people were reacting to what they saw outside of them. They said, okay, men like women like Kim Kardashian. She's the most beautiful woman. She's the sexiest woman. Then I must now meet up with her. That is now what beauty is all about. That's reacting to the outside. It is good thing to keep things in example. Sometimes say something I don't like rather than speak up for myself. Choose to be quiet. Yes. Sometimes if people say things you don't like, especially just keep quiet. Observe. Try and think of what they said, Lovey. Try and think of what they said. Immerse yourself on maybe why they said it. Right? Why am I attracting this experience? What is it going to teach me? You understand? And then, yeah, maybe a day or two you can respond, or you can even tell the person if they're demanding a response now, you can tell them, you know what, hold on. I need to think about this situation. I need to think about what you said. Just give me a couple of hours. I'll get back to you. Don't have to respond straight away. Or else, lovely, you can just ignore that person. Ignore them and move on with your life. Because that person is only saying things according to their own awareness, their own understanding, their own conditioning, their own fears, their own life experience. You are unique. What they're saying about you is not truth. It's their own specific truth. It's what they feel at that moment. So in most cases, you keep quiet, and you know your truth, right? You know your own truth. So don't get upset by other people. Don't be forced or pushed to respond or rather react when people say things you don't like. It is a type of expression of where they are mentally and consciously. They are not high frequency. It's an expression. So you leave them to be who they are. Mina Chopra, hi, how are you? Very true, men. God bless you. Have a good day. Thank you so much, Mina. Hope you have a good day as well. Okay. So all these things are very, very important when it comes to self-development. We need to be able to be aware of who we are. Okay. I said, how do you work with the matrix? You don't fight it, right? Remember, you take ownership of your own life experience. Master your focus, number one. Number two, I mentioned do not react to every external event in your life. Number three, use intentional energy to create your life experience. In other words, you're going to use breath work. That's your energy, breath work, visualization, and affirmation. That's your intentional energy. How you breathing, the focus that you are actually using. What are you focusing on when you're breathing in? You're focusing on your body, on your breath, right? Your visualization. You imagine what you want in life, how you want your day to be. A lot of people start their daily practice, morning practice with breath work, meditation, and visualization and affirmations, right? You can do that in one meditation because those type of meditations are online. You can download them or rather watch them on YouTube, and you begin your day with your breathing, deep breathing, conscious, intentional breathing, feeling your body. Now you're owning yourself, you're zoning into yourself, you're now unplugging yourself from the matrix, from what's happening on what's going to happen in your day. And in the evening you do unplugging. It's just like the opposite of the morning one. You unplug yourself, you focus on your day that you had, and you be grateful for your day, and then you go through, you can even rewind, recess your day, but look at it more like observer, right? And then be appreciative of you being well in that day, all the successes, for every smile that you had, every feeling of joy that you have. Be grateful for that day, for every wonderful friend or smile or conversation you had. Be grateful for everything that you achieved and even things that you have not achieved for the day, because there's still tomorrow. You acknowledge them, right? You begin your day intentionally and then end your day with intention, because you have to live an intentional life to master the game or master the matrix, right? Remember that the matrix amplifies what you believe most in your life. It amplifies what you believe most in your life. As I said, you are everything that you believe. That's your world assumption, and you are creating your life experience by your assumption, and the matrix amplifies that, amplifies your belief in life strongly when you're faced with fear or stagnation, right? This is not happening to me, right? It's happening through me, right? There's something within me that's creating this reality, that's allowing me to create this reality, because you are the master of your life experience. Self is improvements through inner awareness. Self improvements or self developments is only possible with inner awareness, being aware of yourself. That's what self development is about being aware of yourself and who you are and how you're going to engage in life and show up in life. It's very important. How you show up, engage, and how you engage in life is very important, right? So I'm about to close now, guys. I'm actually went over my time. Self-improvement through inner awareness, being more aware of yourself. Self-improvement is important. It's part of the matrix, yes. Now, when you want to beat the matrix or master the matrix, you need to choose to improve yourself. Become a better person, not for other people, but for yourself, to make your life better, right? All right. Then number two, observe your patterns. That's how you do it. Observe your patterns. What are my patterns? What do I do every single day? What is my rhythm? The things that I believe in, that I do continuously. You get my points? What am I doing? Observing myself and my patterns, or how I speak, how I show up in life. What am I eating? What am I drinking? What am I watching? How am I engaging with my work colleagues at work or whoever I'm engaging with? How do I engage with my partner that I love so much? How do I engage with my pets? How do I engage with myself? I look myself in the mirror. I look at myself in the mirror. Am I criticizing myself continuously, or am I appreciating myself? That's all about how I engage. Those are my patterns in life. Notice what triggers you as well. Important. That is where you need to begin healing. What triggers you, it needs to be healed. Nothing should trigger you in this world, right? If you truly are a grounded, self-actualized person, nothing should trigger you. If things are triggering you, what your partner said or did not say triggers you, somebody looks at you in a certain way, or somebody says something about how you dress and it triggers you, you need to understand that you choose to have that trigger to respond that way. What's making you trigger? What's making you have that response? You need to work on it, because that person is not responsible for your inner self. That person that told you that don't like your outfit or don't like your hairstyle or why your hair so late, it triggered you. Why is it triggering you? That person just said a neutral statement. That person is not attacking you. You see what I mean? People will get triggered because they feel attacked. So you need to understand that that person is not attacking me. That person is just said something neutral like that I don't like. Why don't I like it? Why don't I like him telling me that I'm late again for work? Or why am I wearing something that's too tight? It's triggering me. Why is it triggering me? You don't have to react by being violent and being rude. Just understand, okay, I'm upset at this moment. I don't like what this person said. I'm feeling somehow. Go back to yourself and ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? Because maybe I don't like criticism. Why I don't like criticism? Because criticism is something it's normal. People have the right to say what they want to say. People have the right to say what they want to say. Right? Remember, I have a right to respond how I want to respond. Now the question is, do you want to respond in an uplifting, empowering way, or do you want to respond to the criticism, right, in a very negative way? It's up to you. You decide how you're going to respond, by fighting a person, by telling them who they think they are, but they have no right to criticize you. You need to see everything as just as neutral. They said it, okay, fine. Let me now observe how I feel, and let me now choose a more positive response. I see that you don't like my outfit. Thank you, but you don't have to like it. I like it. I prefer it. I prefer tighter clothes than looser clothes. Right? Things like that. Okay, you think that I'm being rude, that I don't know how to manage time. Yeah, maybe I need to learn to get up more earlier. Now you're taking ownership, okay? Because you're supposed to be at work at a certain time. Your manager says that you are late. Why are you late? And says it in such a way you don't like the way they say it. You get triggered. But you put yourself in a situation because you came late anyway. That's your responsibility, right? You being late, being early is your responsibility. You came late, so now you went against the agreements, the terms of employment, the conditions of employment. So you tell them, yeah, I need to work on it. I think from tonight onwards, I will put an alarm system. I make sure my alarm is on. I'll sleep more earlier, right? And I make sure that I don't sleep with a full stomach, that my stomach is empty. I'll sleep maybe after 3 hours after eating. Now you're engaging in a more positive way. You're taking ownership. You understand? You choose on how to show up in life. Exactly. It just boils down to how to use criticism. Yes, as how you use it. You can see it as an attack, or you can see it as just a neutral comment. It's up to you. Or maybe you can see it as an upliftment, a way to grow. Or maybe this person wants me to do better. And yes, maybe I should do better because this is my life. I'm not looking for enemies from everything people say to me. You gotta live your life like you are master. A God has no enemies. A God of your own life. You are a master of your life. You are a God. You have no enemies because you have the power of your own life, right? You decide what are your enemies if you want any enemies in life, right? But in most cases, people have they are their own enemy because they don't know how to work with their emotions. They don't know how to transform their emotions. They don't know how to face their issues, things that trigger them. They don't know how to face life positively. Then they become their own enemy. Have you seen toxic people fighting with every single person? Have you ever met a person that tells you that I have so many enemies, I don't get along with people? Because that person has issues with themselves. They are the one common denominator in this whole scenario, okay? You say you're always fighting with different people and you say people don't like you. No, it's more likely you don't like yourself because you're not working on yourself. You're not taking ownership of your own life experience. When you take ownership of your own life experience, you're telling the universe, you're telling God, you're telling the matrix system that I'm now the master of my life. I'm not going to be driven by my emotions, my limiting belief systems. I'm going to begin to build myself up to be more positive, to show up more positive in life. It's all about that, VD. It's about you showing up more positive in life, right? So, guys, if you all have not as yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Okay, as I'm looking into 10 new subscribers every day, right? That's my goal. 10 new subscribers every day. If I meet it, it's fine. If I don't meet it, it's fine as well because all is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Everything is working out for my highest good, but I am focusing on building my channel. That's why there is more content these days and more lives as well. You understand? And let us engage. If you have any questions, go to my videos, VD, right? And look at my videos, okay? Because I do lives and I make little videos like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 14 minutes long, depending. And you can just check it out, right? And just comment as well. And then also share with your friends and your family that will actually need that information. If you feel that information is going to help them, right? I also share my journey with my food, how I eat and stuff like that because that is energy. Food is energy. Whatever you consume with your mouth, with your ears, with your eyes, it's all energy. I'll check out your contents. Thank you, Vidi. I appreciate it. Thank you and welcome to my community. Okay. Welcome to my community of self-development and awareness. I speak about spirituality. I speak about you becoming a better person. I speak about you just having a better experience here in this life experience and don't be a victim because you're not a victim. You are a powerful being, a powerful person. You are a fragmentation of divine source. You are part of God. You understand? We are all parts of God, of divine consciousness. And we all have a big role to play in life, right? So don't be a drifter in your life. Make decisions that add value. I'm glad I'll come across your channel. My pleasure, Vidi. Thank you so much. So we aligned. I'm also happy that you came across my channel. I get to meet another wonderful person. Really, please go ahead and comment and just introduce yourself as well to me. Okay, so I can get to know you more. Right. So yeah, this is all about engaging and getting to know each other more, inspiring each other and also uplifting each other with information. You understand, with inspiration as well. All right. So I will be doing another live on next week, right? Next week, Saturday and Sunday. I'm also on TikTok video, right? I'm on TikTok with the same name, Manifest with Sasian, right? Manifest underscore with underscore Sasian. You'll find me on TikTok as well, all right? So if you're interested in the TikTok shorter videos, and also I do readings, I do tarot readings. Like today is Tarot Sunday, right? So I do tarot readings today, but I do it on TikTok because there's more people. I got more followers on TikTok, right? So I do tarot readings as well, right? That kind of thing that helps people, encourages people, gets people to learn about symbolism and stuff like that, right? So if you're interested in TikTok as well, you can go ahead and also follow me on TikTok, right? So anyway, have a great week further. It's Sunday today. May this week bring you blessings. May this week bring you smiles and happiness, right? Remember that you are a divine source. You are a part of God. You are a child of God. You are a fragmentation of God. You are part of God. You are God. I'll turn on my notifications so anything you post, I get it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support, Lavi Vidi. And I'm happy that my content is resonating with you as well. All right. So have a great week further. And remember that you are loved, Vidi. All of us, so every single person who's on this live, you are loved. You are loved. And remember that true empowerment and true growth is taking ownership of everything in your life. Don't be a victim. Thank you so much. You much do yourself great. I will, and I have a wonderful week, right? That's my intention, having a wonderful week. That's my intention, really it is, okay? So have a great week further, guys, and remember that you are your master of your own reality. You're not a victim of life. You are creating life. You're creating your own life experience.